I'm Brian Hoffman, and this is Foods You Gotta Try Before You Die, the Bucket List Food Show. Each week, we travel the country in search of the best foods under the sun, as chosen by the gods of food, otherwise known as the Foodie 500. Today, we're gonna sample the top 5 sandwiches. I'm here in Brooklyn, New York, at Mile End to try their famous smoked meat sandwich. A sandwich that is so tender, so smoky, so melt in your mouth delicious, you're gonna wish your television set was edible. So everyone knows what it feels like to miss their mother's homemade apple pie or their grandma's homemade lasagna. Noah Boerum Hill missed his home cuisine, Montreal smoked meat, so much that he started making it himself and now has passed on the gift to New Yorkers. I'm here with Noah, who's the owner and chef of Mile End. Noah, tell us the difference between like New York pastrami and Montreal smoked meat.
There's 2 basic differences. The first is the butchering of the brisket, and second is the spice mix used to cure the meat.
Okay, and so the spice, can you tell me what those spices are? Are those like a top secret sort of?
Well, cured meat pretty much is always salt and sugar, pepper, and then the big differences are between Montreal smoked meat and pastrami is clove, fennel seed, dill seed, and paprika.
Can you walk us sort of through the steps of the process?
Yeah, the meat comes in from the butcher. We trim it down. We build our cure mixture. Following that curing period, the briskets are removed. They're soaked for a little while to kind of wash the.
They're soaked in a brine, or
soaked in basically just water, but of course there's so much salt that it basically we're brining it. We're almost like very quickly wet brining it for a couple of hours, and then we wash that off, re-rub it, put it back and put it into the smoker, smoke it for about 9 hours, 10 hours. Comes out of the smoker, rests overnight in the walk-in so that the juices kind of redistribute back into the brisket, and then it's steamed for about 2.5 to 3 hours the following day.
There's not a piece of meat that's escaping the seasoning.
There's
no way it can get
it's all season.
That's awesome.
It's all season.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that all the meat is hand sliced to order.
Yes.
See, and I've watched you slice this meat, and I mean, there's so much precision and focus and discipline, which is the most impressive, because like I make turkey once a year for my family and friends, and when I carve the turkey, half of it doesn't get onto the table because I'm grazing and picking at the meat as it comes off. How do you stop yourself from eating yourself out of a business?
Well, I do typically have a little mini piece from brisket or 2 just to make sure that it tastes right.
Right.
But you know, when you slice 150 sandwiches a day, you get pretty tired of picking from the stockpile. So
I don't know. It sounds pretty good to me. I would be happy all day long just to nibble at the smoked meat, which I will be doing in just a moment. I will get to try this amazing Montreal smoked meat sandwich on rye bread, a little bit of mustard, some pickles. It's going to be awesome. Thanks, Noah.
Thank you.
So before I even taste this, I can smell in the air in this restaurant all these flavors. I get smoke, I get garlic, I get pepper. I can only imagine what this is going to do to my taste buds when I actually do taste it. So this is it. This is the Montreal smoked meat sandwich. In Montreal, it's known just as a smoked meat sandwich because it's sort of redundant. But as you can see, it's very simple sandwich. It's just bread, the meat, and a little bit of mustard. Similar to pastrami, but the meat is a lot more aggressively spiced, and every single sandwich is sliced to order, which means it sits in the steamer for as long as possible. So all the flavors get all around in the meat. It retains a lot of moistness. The fat continues to break down, and it makes for an amazing sandwich. So enough talking. It's time to do some tasting. Oh my gosh. It's like pastrami on crack. I mean, right away, I get all those flavors. I get pepper, I get salt, I get garlic. There's a lot of richness from the fat, but there's just the right amount of fat. It adds a little butteriness and a lot of flavor. Maybe a little sweetness towards the end from the cloves. I'm going in for another bite to see what else I get. Mustard. Maybe a little rosemary there? No, that's a little subtle. There's so much going on in this sandwich. I just want to live with this sandwich. And you can too if you come to Mile End. Without a doubt, it's one of those things you gotta try before you die. I'm Brian Hoffman, I'll see you next time, and if you excuse me, I'm gonna keep going on the sandwich.